Hello, welcome back to BSLIVE. Today I'll be sharing with you what I created yesterday. Basically kind of like a spiraling stairs. It's very basic, and also this like a spiraling gallery. So there's a bit of glitch there, I think, because it's the double-sided thing. It's only one-sided. Anyway, so I've been filling up the empty space with all kind of random stuff, but they're actually kind of making me think about spatial design. So I try to think like an architect in a way, but I think it's easier to think like a playground, like a kid's playground, or like maybe like a cat's playground. You can think of all kind of design that the cats could play with, and you want to bring this like like a module, something modular that you can bring into 3D space, and so your character can play around inside it. In this case, it's experiencing this some of my Flickr or actually Instagram photos, and just I don't know. It's like a way you can bring in all your works into 3D space. So I created a couple of different design. Actually, this is pretty basic, but you got the idea. It's basically creating like a modular kids playground setup using Blender. This one is there's a lot of things going on here. Let me use Control Option and right click, just hide everything. Start with okay, something simple. This one is a cylinder that I can control. Just I can control the radius and control the depth, and this will actually affect everything else. So let me show everything again. So we have this float, value, spiral, rotations, and the Z, the radius of the cylinder, and the X factor. All right, so the cylinder one is pretty easy and clear, and I'm using this setup: bounding box, separate, combine, just in the Z axis. So by doing this, the cylinder is always on the floor. So that's this is an important node setup. And then the next one, okay, the stair. Okay, the spiraling stairs. This is actually just a circle. So I have a curved circle, and I can control the radius and the height. And this goes around like a spiral because of, okay, let's see. This is because of the instancing. And there's a lot of things going on, but just take a look at the green line. So this is the instance of the stairs, and I offset it slightly. If I didn't offset it, this is just like if I didn't offset it somewhere here using the translate instance, it's gonna be like a circle, just like a normal circle. But I think the translate does the job. There's an offset in Z axis, and there's this X axis translations to control these stairs. So okay, I think I started with a curved line. Okay, see, look at the green lines. It's easier if you just look at the green lines, the bright green one. So we have a curved lines, and then I resample the curve using this value from count, and the count goes into the float, so I can control the number of stairs that way. I simply instance the same objects, this circle, into this guy. I instance it, I didn't do anything else, and then I rotate the instance and translate the instance. So the rotations actually coming from this guy. Without the rotation, it's just like a simply like an array goes vertically. So this one does its job. The rotations is using the index that's being mapped. So map range the index from minimum to maximum into new value, and as the value it's coming from the maximum. This is the actual rotations of the stairs. Okay, so that's making this guy over here, and I just set material, and I also realize instances. So if I bake this, the stair will stay as a geometry. The next one, okay, this is just like a bubble. This is the weird one. Maybe I should go to this one first. Just a simple extrusions, and I'm using stars. Normally kids playground, they have this kind of spiral, what do you call it, not the stair, it goes down. This one is using again similar curve line resample. Oh yeah, this one is I'm using capture attributes and transfer attributes. Slightly tricky, it seems. I think it's a way to deform a curve using another curve. So just take a look at this. From the translate instances, I just grab, I turn the instances into points, the position of the instance into points, and then I capture the attributes and transfer it into this new geometry. So the geometry line is actually on the top, right? Everything else just goes inside. This is just a new data from another geometry. Just capture, transfer it, set the new positions, and then have this stars kind of sweep over this and creates the slides. Okay, like a spiraling slides. And then using the same position, I resample the curve and just randomize this a little bit, so we end up with this like a bubble inside this slides. It's going down, and yeah, I believe we can actually control the animations of this guy using the float if you use it like a different value. Okay, so, and again, I'm using the points to volume to mesh to create this kind of weird looking bubbles. Set the material, set shade smooth, and everything else combined together, it's become like this. So this, but for my thingy, I have also this gallery, which is like another spiraling thing. I save it into a different blend files just to be clear. So this is just an instance of photos that I put inside the collections. I have 8 photos. Just put and dump everything into collections. I imported using the images as planes. And when you import it, make sure you turn off the, don't use shadeless, use the principal so you can export it out. Put it inside collections and then bring the collections into geometry nodes. Now you can instance the collections. So this is the collections comes in. Just drag and drop it like that. Turn on separate children, reset the children positions, and then you can use the usual setup, just like a spiral. In this case, what's actually happening is I have this geometry. Okay, so I started with this geometry, kind of like a paper that's being rolled. I can control the height of the paper using this line, and the line is sweep over into the spiral shape, and we can still control the resolution, the rotation number, start and end radius if you want to. The and the height, look. This is kind of interesting, right? It creates like a flower. Something you can create. I mean, you can use. Anyway, in this case, just like a rolling spiral. And then I distribute some points. Random distribution of points. And I'm using pause on this. I can randomize the positions. I can have more or less photos. And I multiply the rotations, so it's just rotated in the z-axis. Okay, everything else is zero out. And I instance the photos. If I didn't zero it out, I think it's looking like this. I only want the rotations in the z-axis, so it's facing the inside. If you look, take a look at this, where is it? Face orientations. The photos will be facing the inside. This is actually what I want, but sometimes you actually want to have it like double-sided. So make sure you use the solidify later. Anyhow, let's go back. So instance on points, randomize using this pick instance and using this random integer numbers to randomize the instance. Now you have these photos. They seem to be upside down. Okay, might need to fix that. I'm using Suzanne as a reference. Oh, okay, it's actually upside down. All right. Now, once you're finished with this, they are all instances. And if you bake it, don't bake it using this guy. Don't. Instead, if you apply this, it disappears because you didn't realize instances. But if you realize instances, you lost the texture. Okay, so you might need to do that like a rebaking or something. So the easiest way is to select the geometry nodes and then F3 and then realize. Make instances real. Now the instances is real objects. You can just combine all of them. It seems to be like overlap. Oh, okay, because we have the original. Select all of them, combine, and solidify. So you have thickness. So file, export, GLB, include selected objects, and then apply modifiers because we have solidify. Now we should be able to bring this into our 3D space. So I found that, okay, it's I love the VRLand a lot because it makes things, it make it really easy for you to just bring everything together. Or like your 3D or like audio or anything, you know. That's basically the idea that I wish for Web3 or Metaverse or whatever. Random photo scatter. I think should be able to bring. I have a feeling that my photos is not coming in because they are all not principal. I forgot something. Yeah, the shader is not principal. Oops. This is the old one. This is the old material. So I bring it as a shadeless material. So it should be principal. Should be like this for all of these materials. That's okay. I think this could be automated using Python. So I only have 8 different photos. So the GLB, the normally for as a standard principal BSDF is the one to go with. For AR, it's using the PBR, so it needs that principal BSDF material or shader. You can make some of them. You can make the photo shiny. Sometimes it's kind of nice, kind of neat to have like a shiny material. Let's do that for some photos. Okay, now we are done. Okay, we hide everything else. We just need this guy. File, export, GLB. Hopefully this time you can upload. It should bring the texture now. And just bring it into GLB. Okay, sometimes there's a bit of bug, but let's try again. Upload, get this file, just rename this, I guess. Uploading, and it's gonna create 3 different versions: low, medium, and high resolutions. It's gonna optimize the assets. Again, I have to say I like the VRLand. I like the ideas of imagine like a game engine and you just can bring any assets. It's kind of nice to think everything like that. Okay, somehow it doesn't have the double-sided that I was expecting. Still kind of weird. Oh, it could be the solidify that's need to be fixed. I thought I did the solidify. I did the solidify. Take a look at the. If I apply this, right click, convert to mesh. Take a look at the face orientation. This seems to be correct. Maybe it's just like a bug. Anyhow, with this, we have this gallery, spiraling gallery in 3D that we can enjoy. Oh yeah, it's probably like a bug with the depth. Okay, doesn't matter for now. From the inside, it should look pretty correct. It should have just like one side. It's a bit funky anyway. But that's the spiral gallery, and then combined with the spiral stairs, you can have your character walk around on the stair and take a look at your art design or photos, exhibitions. So yeah, ultimately I want to make some more of this. Take a look at the design of Cat's Playground. It's simple. You can create this in Blender in just a few minutes or half hour. They're really simple, but the cats will love it, and then your characters will actually love it as well. And hopefully we can make this inside VRLand, so your audience can come over and take a visit, and then okay, this is the slides. and it's nice. You can go inside the tunnel. It's very simple. It's very simple, and it's your brain. If you can't think like an architect, I mean, if an architect have like pavilions, right? Architecture Expo pavilion. This is also an inspirations. You saw this every year. I think they do this somewhere in a nice place like Dubai or somewhere in Switzerland, France. I don't know. They make all kind of design pavilion, and yeah, you want to have this inside your VRLand, right? And you want to have like a really cool place so people can visit. So this is the idea. You can really make like a nice design. If this is too hard, then you go back to Cat's Playground and then make something that looks like really simple, but also still something that your character can play around inside. So you have, I mean, metaverse or Web3, maybe they're different thing, but if you think of it, it's that think of an open space where you can publish and you can put all your works as an artist or designers, and I think that's kind of a neat idea to have actually. Yeah, so I don't know it yet, but anyway, just I'm gonna keep building this and maybe it's gonna become something over time. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.